Remember what Leandro Paredes said to Rodrygo? When Rodrygo called him out during a World Cup qualifier and said, "You are so bad," Paredes turned around and said this: "I have 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup, and you have nothing. 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup." That was his answer. That was the taunt, the bragging right he used to silence a critic. Well, Leandro, FIFA just responded to that taunt with one of their own. You have 2 Copa Americas, you have a World Cup, and now you have a 10-match ban, the most severe punishment in World Cup history since Luis Suarez bit someone, and a $90,000 fine, and you are effectively banned from the Argentina national team for an entire year. How does that taunt sound now? Welcome back to Robert's Football Talk. I am your host, and if you are new here, subscribe right now, because today we are giving Leandro Paredes the taunt he deserves. Not with anger, not with hate, with the facts. Every single fact that makes this 10-match ban the most poetic punishment FIFA has handed down in years. Because Paredes built his entire personality on telling the world what he has won, and today FIFA told him what he has lost. Subscribe now. Zero coding. Let us go. Part 1. The taunt that defined him and the ban that answered it. Let me start with that Rodrygo moment, because it is the key to understanding everything about Leandro Paredes. World Cup qualifier. Argentina versus Brazil. Rodrygo shouts at Paredes, "You are so bad." The words of a young Brazilian superstar talking down to an Argentine midfielder he does not respect. And Paredes did not argue about football. He did not talk about his pass completion rate or his defensive contributions or his technical ability. He went straight to the trophies. "I have 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup, and you have nothing." That is who Leandro Paredes is. That is his entire brand. His trophies are his identity. His Argentina shirt is his personality. His World Cup winner's medal is the answer to every question, every doubt, every criticism. And then July 19th happened. Spain 1, Argentina 0. Extra time, World Cup final. And when the final whistle blew, instead of standing on the pitch and accepting the loss with the dignity that 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup should have taught him, Paredes grabbed Eric Garcia by the throat, tossed Gavi to the ground, received a red card after the final whistle, and went home to post on Instagram about pride. And today, exactly 33 days after that night in New Jersey, FIFA handed down their verdict. 10 matches, $90,000. Effectively 1 full year away from the Argentina national team. The man who told the world he had 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup is now banned for 10 matches from the team he used those trophies to define himself by. Now I want to ask you something. When Paredes said that to Rodrygo, 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup and you have nothing, was that confidence or arrogance? Drop your answer right now. One word, confidence or arrogance. Because the answer matters for everything that follows. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk right now, because the numbers make this even more painful for Paredes specifically. Part 2, 10 matches, what that actually means. Let me give you exactly what a 10-match ban means for Leandro Paredes. Because the number alone does not capture the scale of what FIFA just did to him. Euronews confirmed it directly. The ban for Paredes is effectively a 1-year expulsion from the Argentina team, as the FIFA calendar for national team schedules includes 10 games through June 2027. 10 games through June 2027. That is every single Argentina competitive fixture until the middle of next year. Gone. Every international window, every qualifier, every friendly that counts. And here is the context that makes the timing even more devastating. The post-Messi era for Argentina begins now. Messi is 39 years old. He is at Inter Miami. He has said this was his final World Cup. The Argentina squad that needs to rebuild for the 2030 cycle is assembling itself right now. Players are proving themselves. Coaches are making decisions about who belongs in the new Argentina. And Paredes is banned. For a year. For the entire opening chapter of the post-Messi rebuild. The man who defined himself by what he won with Argentina is now absent from Argentina at the exact moment Argentina is trying to figure out what they become without their greatest player. beIN Sports called it extraordinarily severe. They said FIFA was looking to send a strong message after images of the confrontation went around the world. They said what happened after a match of this magnitude did not go unnoticed. Not unnoticed. That is the diplomatic version. The accurate version is that 82,000 people in the stadium saw it. Hundreds of millions watching globally saw it. BBC cameras captured it from multiple angles. Paredes grabbing Garcia by the throat is now one of the most replayed clips of the entire World Cup, and it will follow him for the rest of his career, regardless of whether he appeals or not. Now let me ask you something. The 10-match ban effectively erases Paredes from Argentina's post-Messi rebuild for an entire year. Does Argentina rebuild better without him, or does his experience make him irreplaceable even after the ban? Tell me in the comments. Part 3. The Suarez comparison. The company he is now keeping. Here is the detail that should genuinely shock every Argentina fan and every Paredes fan. Al Jazeera, ESPN, and Sky Sports all confirmed the same comparison. The ban for Paredes ranks alongside the FIFA sanctions for Uruguay forward Luis Suarez in 2014 as among the most severe in World Cup history. Luis Suarez, 2014. He bit Chiellini. He literally bit an Italian defender during a World Cup group stage game. He sank his teeth into another human being's shoulder. FIFA banned him from all football for 4 months and 9 more competition games. That is the standard Paredes is now being compared to. Not a harsh red card, not a controversial sending off. Luis Suarez biting a man. That is the category of punishment Paredes has received. And Paredes did not bite anyone. He grabbed a man by the throat. He tossed a 21-year-old to the ground. He received a red card after a World Cup final. And FIFA has placed his punishment in the same historical bracket as the most infamous individual act of violence at any World Cup since the sport began. The man who told Rodrygo he had a World Cup is now in the same disciplinary record as the man who bit someone at a World Cup. That is the Tana FIFA just delivered. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk right now. Share this, because Part 4 is where we address the appeal he has already announced. Part 4, the appeal, and why it will not save him from this story. The Argentine Football Association announced on August 6th that they will challenge the penalties in defense of the federation and its players. They will appeal. Of course they will appeal. Every player and every federation appeals significant bans. The AFA has a responsibility to its players to exhaust every legal avenue. The Court of Arbitration for Sport will review it. Arguments will be made. The footage will be examined again. And here is what the appeal cannot change. The footage exists. It is permanent. It is everywhere. Paredes grabbing Garcia by the throat is on BBC cameras and AP cameras and Fox Soccer cameras and every broadcast feed from that night. The Court of Arbitration for Sport cannot make that footage disappear. They can argue about the length of the ban. They cannot argue about what the ban is for. In 2024, Darwin Núñez and Uruguay appealed similar bans from Copa America violence. The Court of Arbitration for Sport rejected the appeal. The bans were upheld. Uruguay's players went to their next matches without Núñez and Bentancur. The AFA appealed and lost before. The pattern of these cases is not encouraging for Paredes. And even if the appeal reduces the ban from 10 matches to 7 or 8, the story does not change. The name in the record books does not change. The throat grab footage does not change. The comparison to Suarez in 2014 does not change. Paredes defined himself by what he won. FIFA defined him by what he did after he lost. And that definition is now in the official disciplinary record of the most powerful sporting organization in the world. Part 5. The Instagram post. The pride. And what it all means now. After the final whistle. After the throat grab. After the red card. After the FIFA investigation opened. Paredes posted on Instagram. He wrote about pride, about the group, about the honor of representing Argentina, about something bigger than a result. Not one word about Garcia, not one word about Gavi, not one word about the man he grabbed by the throat in front of 82,000 people, not one word about the image that went around the world, not one word about the red card, not one word that acknowledged that he had done anything wrong. Just pride and honor, and the group, and something bigger than results. And now FIFA has answered that Instagram post with 10 matches and $90,000. Here is the Tana that FIFA just gave Leandro Paredes, and I want you to hear it clearly. You said you had 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup. You are right. You won those things. Nobody can take them away from you. But you also grabbed a man by the throat at a World Cup final. You tossed a 21-year-old to the ground. You received a red card after the match was over. You posted about pride without acknowledging any of it. And now you have 10 matches banned from the team whose trophies you used as your personality. You are missing the entire opening chapter of the post-Messi Argentina. You are in the same disciplinary record as Luis Suarez biting Chiellini, and the footage that put you there is permanent. That is the answer to your Tana, Leandro. I have 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup, and you have nothing. FIFA just made it 10 matches and nothing as well. That is the full breakdown. The Tana that defined Paredes. The 10-match ban that answered it. The Suarez comparison that puts it in historical context. The appeal that cannot change the footage. And the Instagram post about pride that FIFA just responded to with the most severe World Cup punishment in 12 years. 3 questions. Drop all 3 right now. First, does the Paredes 10-match ban feel proportionate to what he did? Or too much? Or not enough? Second, can Argentina rebuild properly without Paredes for a full year in the post-Messi era? Third, when Paredes returns from his ban, does he deserve to represent Argentina again? Or has he damaged his legacy too permanently? Drop everything below. I read every single one. This has been Robert's Football Talk. Hit that like button. Share this with every Argentina fan and every football fan you know right now, because this ban dropped today, and this is the fastest and most complete breakdown on the planet. Subscribe if you are not already here. New videos every single week. I will see you in the next one.